Ipswich, a team of extreme cleaners have arrived at a vacated council house. Until only a few days ago, it was home to an elderly man who has since died. It's the lads' job to clear it out and make it ready for a new tenant. But they have little idea just what's in store. Sam leads the way.
Wow. Blimey.
Look at the state.
Obviously, been quite a heavy smoker here, I think.
Filthy, isn't it? Years and years of cigarette smoke. Amazing.
The filth fighters spread out and embark on a journey of grimy discovery.
I mean, it's absolutely disgusting. Look at it. Filthy. How anybody can live like this, I don't know. Bring your ketchup.
I think they quite like fried food. You get this in houses where people fry a lot. It just coats basically the whole wall and all the surfaces. And there's something in the kettle as well. Oh, it was so heavy when I picked it up, I was sure it was full of water, but just lime scale. And we got this tea towel here, which I think has been permanently kept here, because underneath it's actually quite nice and clean.
Before clearing the house completely, the lads must now sift through the personal effects and keep anything of value for the family.
There's an unemployment book here from 1945-46. So just after the Second World War, someone was claiming unemployment benefit, and here's the card still, 64 years later. That's amazing.
Barry is a retired engineer, and for him, one discovery in particular is of interest.
Look at that, it's Meccano. One of the originals.
Have we got some bags?
Yeah.
Okay. And instructions. This one's got a wind-up motor on it. That's really brilliant.
But the more they discover, the sadder the story becomes.
Oh yeah, a bit more of the same. Quite old and dusty.
Look at the sheets. I mean, they were clean at one time.
Barry identifies a thick layer of bedroom dust as human in origin,
Looks like dead skin.
while Sam gets a history lesson.
An old newspaper in here. Report to Churchill, direct from Moscow, 1955.
If this is his bedding. Looks pretty revolting.
The deeper they dig, the grimier it gets.
Yeah, that's it, like as well. It's just skin. The mattress up. And the buttons. More skin there, look.
Now Sam finds possessions that have remained untouched since long before he was born.
This is from a motorcycle shop, saying as from December the 1st, 1961, our Brantford Road branch will be closed. Still here, still on the mantelpiece. Amazing.
This man's obviously slipped through the net because nobody's looked after him. It's a terrible state to get to when you get old.
A look that's taken decades to achieve is about to be consigned to history in minutes. All the household items have been sorted, and everything no longer of value is now destined for the dump. South African-born Cedric was an engineering student and hadn't planned on becoming a filth fighter until Cupid struck.
Came as a student, studied engineer, and then I was deeply in love with this girl, you know, and I fell with this, you know, she just took my heart. And then I end up with her, and I forget all of everything about going to school. So, yeah, I'm in love. Yeah.
Inside, the lads are on a roll, but they're disturbing decades of dust. And for Sam, this is no magic carpet.
Quite dusty, quite dirty, quite falling apart. Good to get it out of the way, really.
There's so much dust, you can't even take it, man.
Carpet's out. It's time for a clean sweep.
Look at that. Looks like his beard.
While Cedric is counting brushstrokes, Barry is counting his blessings.
If you're a driver for the day, you've got to get out in the fresh air. unfortunately.
Cedric needs some fresh air and a little light relief.
Come on, Bobby!
Sam knows the job won't get done by itself.
If they want to do things like that, they can, but not really my cup of tea. Sometimes you have a whinge about your job, like everybody does, but then if it was meant to be fun, they wouldn't pay you to do it, would they? So you just got to get in and crack on and think of payday and think of when you go home at night.
Cedric has the perfect antidote to filth.
The only thing I just want to feel in love and forget about this place. Isn't it, Sammy?
Why?
Because, yeah, you know, when you're not in love, these places can make you mad. Smart.
I'm trying. I'm smiling on the inside.
Okay.
It might not be a grand design, but at least the house is ready for a makeover.
Finish.
And one team of trusty filth fighters head for grimy pastures new.
Getting a wheel spinning everywhere.
In Leicester, council property manager Alex has been called to a flat after a tenant has left. He's got to make sure that it can be refurbished and back on the rental market as soon as possible. He's no idea what state the property's in.
Been given the keys by the local office just to check, avoid property. Well, something don't smell too good.
The awful smell isn't the only problem. The whole flat's an appalling mess.
Okay, it's a pretty bad one. Doesn't look like there's anywhere to sit, anywhere to sleep. So, I mean, I don't know how someone managed to live here, but obviously someone did.
Next stop, what's supposed to be the bedroom.
Right, more clothes. Doesn't look like he's got a bed anywhere. I think we had a smoker, quite a few there, a bit of a mound of, ash. Oh, there's his bed. Can't see where he would have used it to sleep.
Judging by what he's seen so far, Alex can't be confident about the bathroom.
First time I've come across a bath like this. Don't know what he's been doing in there. Some kind of fish pet, maybe. Got a nice toilet with feces stains in there. Don't really fancy touching that.
The final room he looks at is the kitchen.
Uh-oh. I think this is source of the smell. Yeah. I think he liked his coffee with milk, I think. Lots of things growing in the milk. Never come across milk in that amount. I'm told never to open fridges, but never milk like that. Ugh. I don't want to get too close to that. A little bit queasy, but try and hold it in.
Before Alex can decide what needs to be done, he has to know exactly what he's dealing with.
Until it's actually clear and we've got like a blank canvas to work to, you can't really, it's hard to say what we need to do while it's full of stuff. So priorities, get it cleared, get it clean, and then we'll come back and we'll have a look then.
Fortunately for Alex, it's not up to him to clear the flat.
I think I've seen enough in here. I think it's time to move on.
In Leicester, council property manager Alex has called in the cavalry. Leading the charge, extreme cleaners Dave and Graham.
It's bad, isn't it, mate?
Oh, it smells a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, we've got the dreaded old milk again.
Oh, we've got the milk again?
Yeah.
That's your favourite, isn't it?
Brilliant.
We'll tackle that first, then.
Decision made. Because of the smell, shifting the milk has to be the priority.
It's just curdled up and it stinks.
In Graham's view, milk, good old milk, can be awful.
I think this is probably the worst smell out of all the things that we do come across. It smells like sick, stronger. Man, that is bad. Get out of here. I can feel that on my stomach now, like curdling a bit, but I'm going to fight it. One way or another, I'm not going to throw up, I'm not going to give you that satisfaction, no way.
Of course, it's a priority, but does it have to be dealt with straight away?
So should we go and get in the living room instead of doing here, Dave?
You had enough of it?
Already?
Not the sins of the fathers, the sins of last night, perhaps.
Does the smell getting to you?
I went out last night.
Did you?
Yeah, it ain't good.
Is it bringing it up?
Just a bit.
Now the milk war is over, Graham can open a fresh front in the living room.
Well, at least don't stink in here so much anyway, so we'll open the window anyway.
I like the smell of rain.
Better than milk,
fresh.
innit?
If your job is clearing houses, you can't be too narrow-minded. There's always the possibility of finding something interesting.
Bit of a porno, man. Did you want that, Dave?
No, I didn't want that, thank you.
Oh, look, just found these, Dave, look.
What you found?
Wow.
Sure.
No messing about there, is there? Sharp as well.
What are we going to have to do with them then?
Take them down to the gaffer and find out how we dispose of these, because it's not the sort of thing you can just take down the tip, really, is it? Hey, look, samurais. Gowns here, look. Do you think he was a bit of a weirdo? Or do you reckon he did like martial arts? I won't fancy being in here if he comes back.
It may not be Graham's style, but worth a try?
Wow.
Perfect, mate.
Is that good?
Yeah, I reckon that's the part.
He may have kept himself busy, but he still had time for a smoke.
Found a
Yeah,
packet of
somewhere.
fags here, Dave, look. Bit of a chain smoker, I think.
And just when it looked as if all the secrets had been discovered, there was this.
Oh, it's a
Needle.
needle.
We've got to take it a bit more serious now. We've got to be careful.
That's brilliant, that, isn't it? That's spoilt me fun now.
Just got to be a bit more careful now.
Our boys have seen it all. Scary? Well, yes.
Oh!
In Leicester, extreme cleaners Dave and Graham are making slow progress in clearing the council flat. And Graham is looking for a little distraction.
Any good?
As they clear the big items, more horrors are revealed.
Think you liked the old smoke, don't you? Unbelievable. Disgusting, isn't it?
Any sympathy they might have had for the tenant soon disappears.
Something must just trigger them. Just to wake up and think to yourself, that's it now, I can't be arsed.
But it's sad, no. It's the way it shows life, I think.
Dave and Graham have worked together as a close team for years, but this flat is really testing their patience. Their thoughts turn to what it might be like if they had more help.
If anyone did ever come and work with us, we'd want them to have, like I say, a strong stomach and just get stuck in, basically, and work as a team.
It's what you make of it. If you come in with the attitude like, I don't want to do that, go home.
Yeah.
We don't need people like you. Go away.
Yeah.
We can get on with it ourselves.
Once the furniture has been removed, the living room looks a lot better. Now they can focus their attention on the bathroom.
It's pretty nice, doesn't it? Nice fish tank. Looks like he's been keeping fish in there, I'd say. People used to put pike in baths and that, like, to wash them out, like, you know, clean all the earth taste and that. But I've not heard of it done, like, since my old grandma type days and that, like. That's well strange, that is.
They've cleared the rubbish from the bathroom, but perhaps the bath can wait.
Come on, let's go home, Dad. Bloody hell.
A long day. Tomorrow, that'll be the start of the deep clean. In Leicester, Dave and Graham have returned to the flat for the deep clean. They've already transformed the bedroom and are putting the finishing touches to the living room. Graham seems in good spirits and he's keen to reveal the reason.
I just had two done, just to finish the arm off. Everybody's got tattoos on this firm. If you've not got them, you will have them.
We've just got the worst two rooms to go out, it's the bathroom and the kitchen. We're going to leave them to last and fight them.
Let the kitchen next then, because that's the worst one, I think.
Yeah.
The living room is finished, so now they've got to get stuck into the rest of the flat, and it's not looking good.
I think we missed a lot out of the cupboard.
Joking. What we're going there then?
More milk again.
Oh, terrific. That's what that smell is then, isn't it?
Oh dear.
Oh, brilliant. We've got flies in here. Look at them all coming out. Absolutely. I bet there's maggots in the corner. It's when you move it. Oh my God, look at that. Oh, it stinks, that does.
It's odd because you can wear masks, but eventually the smell will end up getting in the mask and then it just stays there. So if anything, just face it. Just face the smell if you can. Breathe through your mouth. Breathe out through your nose, but don't breathe it in through your nose. That's when you smell it.
While Graham tackles the cupboard, Dave can concentrate on the sink.
It does get on my nerves sometimes, this job. I have to grit my teeth while I'm at work, and then when I get home, just go down the gym and just release it there.
Dave often relaxes by playing football. It gets some of the anger out of his system, but he feels it's not quite enough.
Got to start training next week for cage fighting. Something I've always thought about doing, but I've got a mate who does it, so I went down and seen him and that. He said, yeah, come along, so I'm going to take it up, start next week, and see how it goes. I've got a short fuse, so I just to release some anger, really. Take it out on people in the ring, not on the streets.
Of course, Dave needs a stage name, and Graham's got an idea.
Kitchen sink, Dave. Take your sinking and whack 'em with it, Dave. Make sure you clean it first, though.
The kitchen soon looks a lot better. Alex is due back to check on their work, but there's time to have a go at the bathroom and its fish pond.
There's no sign of him having a bath because it was full of water to keep fish in it. Definitely algae. He's either brought it from a pet shop or something like that to put his fish in the bath, or as he's gone fishing, he's got it from there.
The bath may look unpleasant, but it's quite easy to clean, certainly at least compared with the loo.
It's line scale. I need a jackhammer. Stinking a bit now.
It is time for Big Bertha.
I'll clean it with that. The old Jemmy's doing the job. That is breaking and entering out. Make sure you don't go too hard with it, else you'll end up through the bottom.
Alex returns to inspect the property. While he looks round, Graham and Dave can give the bathroom a final once-over.
Oh, it's so much better, isn't it? All the milk's gone. It's still got a slight lingering smell of mouldy milk, but it's definitely more bearable now anyway, so at least I could probably spend more than 5 minutes in here.
But even after all their work, the kitchen doesn't pass muster.
You can't let anyone use this kitchen, so we'll have to rip this entire kitchen out and put a new one in.
Kitchens and bathrooms usually end up being replaced because the council refurbishment team find it difficult to bring them up to scratch.
You can't expect our lads to work in an environment that hasn't been desanitised, basically. This is the sort of thing you want to be giving them.
In the nick of time, the boys have finished the bathroom, and Alex gives them a green light.
Well done, lads. Cheers.
Thanks very much, Jed. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
It's a dirty job, well done.
Good few hundred, I would say, especially if you come at night. Only because I can see by the stages of the nymphs on the top here. They're just running everywhere. If you see them during the day walking around in cupboards and all that, you will have a problem. I'll guarantee that once I pull these out, that there should be a fair amount because it's warm and it's dark. It's a good hiding place for them.
Before Pete delves behind the white goods, he administers pinprick-sized blobs of poison in the dark recesses of the worktops and the cupboards. This poison is utterly delicious to the cockroach, and as cockroaches are also cannibalistic, secondary poisoning will knock out loads more as the others eat the carcasses. But time now to see what's behind the fridge.
Right, basically what I want to do is, seeing the numbers of cockroaches, I will be surprised if we ain't got a lot behind here. So I want to try and pull them out on these and have a look behind them.
But nothing can prepare Pete for what's lurking in the dark.
This is one of the worst I've ever seen.
With an infestation of this magnitude, Pete's going to have to use the whole arsenal of poisons available to him to even stand a chance of getting the upper hand. In barking after moving the fridge in the kitchen, pest controller Pete is shocked how bad the infestation of cockroaches really is.
It's one of the worst I've come across for the sheer number of adults.
Against this huge number of cockroaches, his syringe full of poison is somewhat pointless on its own. He needs something more immediate. Time to evaluate a plan of action.
So what we're going to do, I'm going to put some sticky white rope traps down so they run straight in and they get stuck on it. By tomorrow, he most probably might have 50, 60, maybe 100 in there, which means that's better than just using the poison. It's just a quicker way of zapping them.
The sticky pads attract the cockroaches to the bait in the centre, but they get stuck on the cardboard surrounding the bait, so hopefully that way the numbers can be reduced in a matter of hours. So with the sticky trap laid, best to confront what's behind the second fridge. What is revealed is Pete's worst nightmare. Literally hundreds more roaches in all states of development, from adults to young nymphs of all sizes. This infestation is getting out of control, and Pete could be close to giving up.
Even with them, I'm going home, I'm going back to lorry driving. Basically, we know the problem, we can see the problem, we just got to get on top of the problem.
Pete's got to act fast as they're multiplying before his very eyes.
As you can see, you got a pair there mating. So we end up with another 30, 40 babies, which I don't think really matters to him at the moment after seeing all this lot up here and round there. If someone's got a phobia of insects, then, you know, they would have to move out. There's no way they'd live in this house.
If what was behind the fridge is horrendous, the only bit of good news is the sticky pad is almost immediately having an effect.
Just a minute ago, you see me bait this up and pull it down there. We open this up, and that is in a space of how many minutes? Minute and a half, 2 minutes.
After really taking stock of the situation, Pete feels he has no option now but to wheel in the big guns. Let's hope this insecticide will allow him to at least start winning the battle on the thousands of roaches. In Dagenham, Pete is having a final attempt to deal with the infestation of cockroaches in one of the council's houses. He's now wheeling out his insecticide to hopefully give the cockroaches a real run for their money, but they're already fighting back.
I've actually got one on me there. I can feel it, I can't see it. I've got them all on my canister as well. Just all on you, ain't they? Alright, this is stuff I'm using, Fendona. We use them on cockroaches in big mass infestations. And as you can see, look, there's a pair here breeding. You know, we've got our work cut out.
So with no time to waste, Pete liberally sprays the Fendona all round the kitchen. The spray won't kill the cockroaches immediately, but should have a drastic effect on them over the next few weeks. He'll have to return in 3 weeks to take stock of how all his various poisons and traps have affected the roaches' population. Meantime, the tenant will just have to watch where he's putting the washing up. For Pete, though, it's vital that he doesn't take any of the roaches home with him. A quick look reveals one's already planning a bid for freedom, and there's also a few more on the pavement.
One there, 2, 3.
Best then to meticulously check everywhere.
Basically, I've got a strip right down to virtually nothing. I might seem a bit OT over the top, but at the end of the day, you see the infestation in there. I don't want that in my house, so I prefer to take this procedure. I know I ain't got the best body, but there you go. This is the worst I've had. I've never had this many on me.
After spraying down not only himself but also the camera crew, Pete is pretty sure he isn't taking any presents home with him, so hopefully the infestation will remain solely in the unfortunate tenant's kitchen. Since the filming of the show, Pete has returned to the cockroach house, but alas, there's more work to do.
Council property manager Steve has been called out to a one-bed flat where a tenant has died. It's his job to return the property to a rentable state as quickly as possible. He only has sketchy information from the police. This place could be horrible. And on first impression, it's about as bad as it gets.
This wall here it's awful. The mould that's built upon this wall, there's years worth of mould there. I've never seen mould build up on a wall like this.
As Steve ventures further into the flat, he realises that the mould problem is comparatively minor.
Well, the bathroom's completely full of rubbish. Yeah, I don't know what's under there. Bedroom looks pretty full of rubbish. Where his hands have been touching the doors, and whatever's on his hands is all over the doors and frames, and it looks to me like it's human faeces on his hands that is just passing around the property. The living room's absolutely filthy. Black, yellow tar everywhere. He's obviously a heavy smoker. Floors are absolutely disgusting. This is one of the worst properties I've had to deal with, I think. Very rarely you get them this bad.
For Steve, this flat is going from bad to worse, and he's not even seen the kitchen.
The smell in the kitchen's getting a lot worse. It's something's rotten in here. It's a very disgusting smell.
The cooking area may be one thing, but there are a few more surprises left on the windowsill.
Oh, there's some teeth on here. He's Pulled some teeth out by the looks of it. 3 or 4 teeth on the windowsill, mixed in with the blue bottles. I've never ever seen any teeth on a windowsill before. I've never found teeth in a property. Maybe false teeth, but not their real ones. He's obviously pulled the teeth out himself, probably while he's cooking his dinner or something.
The big problem for Steve is that his council staff are not trained to deal with such an extreme clean. He's going to have to call on the services of a specialist company to even stand a chance of eventually returning this property to the rental market. Steve has had no option but to call in extreme cleaners Dave and Graham to deal with the one-bed flat.
There's a lot of rodent droppings around, so there may be mice or rats in there. The floors and the walls are covered in human faeces all over, where he's been wiping his hands on the light switches and stuff like that. It is pretty bad in there, so get suited up.
Another day at the office then.
After getting suited and booted, Dave and Graham can get in and check out the flat.
Very bad, isn't it?
Get some windows open, get some air in here, I think.
As always, the first thing to do is to get all the furniture out so they can get to grips with the clean-up.
What we're going to do is take a room at a time. I'm going to get all the big stuff out of this room, bag everything up, fold the carpet up, put it on the lorry. Then we're just going to start the kitchen. It's all the rooms by room, really.
Although these extreme cleans are commonplace for the boys, it still doesn't make it any easier for Dave to contemplate the daily life of the dead tenant.
To live like this, I don't know, it's just heartbreaking, really. Because it's just horrible. The old house is just a mess.
After a while, the sitting room is looking a lot better, clear of furniture and the unsavoury carpet. Now it's on to the kitchen and the teeth on the windowsill.
That human's teeth?
He's pulled his own teeth out.
No.
That is amazing.
He's actually pulled the whole lot out, the roots and all. Look at that, escorts. Stylish and sophisticated ladies available for on-call areas. Look at that. That is some crisp net curtain, that is, isn't it?
As if the ornaments on the windowsill aren't bad enough, after making a start clearing the masses of rat droppings and detritus from the cupboards, Dave makes a disgusting discovery.
Oh, a dead rat. It's horrible. There's a boiler down there or some sort of heating system. And I was just cleaning the bottom of it out. It smells like human faeces. First time I've ever smelt a dead rat, and it's not nice.
With the worst of the kitchen cleared, it's now on to what seems to be the bathroom, filled to the ceiling with black bin liners containing yet more rubbish. When eventually they clear the bags, the bathroom underneath is decidedly unpleasant.
State that toilet.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely disgusting.
After the bathroom, the final room is the bedroom, stacked full of an array of boxes, old clothes and carrier bags. Now, having cleared a van load of furniture, the odd mattress and about 50 bin bags of rubbish, the boys can head down to the local dump and call it a day. Dave is back to start the deep clean of the one-bed council flat. Today he's brought along Lee and the legend that is Showroom Rob. It's a nickname founded on a somewhat obsessive attitude towards cleaning. So the first thing Showroom tackles is the thick layer of nicotine coating the kitchen units.
Nicotine, yeah, you don't normally find it in the cupboards when the doors are closed. It's even in there. Must have been on about 1,000 fags a day.
After making short work of the nicotine stains, Rob, with his customary zeal, immediately volunteers for the bathroom.
I'm just about to get the faeces off the toilet, what's been plastered there for years by the looks of it.
For most of us, spending hours with our head down a loo would seem a terrible existence. But to Rob, it's oddly satisfying.
Other people would say it were an obsession, yeah, but I just like to make things look good. It's a challenge every day to do this. If I had a job where everything was clean, it'd be boring, wouldn't it?
Within a matter of hours, Rob has worked his magic with the loo, and the rest of the flat ain't looking too bad either. Dave and his team are rightly proud of what they've done.
We've finished the bedroom now, which we're standing in, done the living room. Basically all that's left now is just to finish them, finish the hallway and a couple of cupboards. But we've broke the backbone really of it. We've done really good.
Now Steve from the council can get the flat refurbished and redecorated to get it back on the rental market in the next couple of weeks. In Enfield, North London, extreme cleaner Nick has been called to a private flat.
At the moment, we're unsure exactly what is behind these doors, but we do know the RSPCA have been here and taken cats away. The guess is it's going to be in quite a bad state.
Nick doesn't have to look for any clues. The problems are obvious.
Well, yeah, it's quite an odour in here, let's put it that way. Floor space is limited as well because there's quite a lot of, well, vodka bottles, to be fair. I think this person who ever lived here has been a bit of a drinker.
Nick has to quote a price for cleaning and clearing the flat now that the tenant has been evicted. Whoever lived here clearly liked to drink and was very partial to cats, lots and lots of them.
The first thing I'm pointing out here is the bath, which is absolutely horrendous. It is absolutely chock-a-block with cat faeces. That is pretty horrendous. You've got cat mess all around the floor. How someone could live like this, I do not know. Probably have to drink a lot of vodka to be in this place anyway.
The living room isn't much fun either.
There again, vodka bottles, more cat mess, infestation of flies here. This is really bad. I mean, that is gross. All of this is going to have to be cleared. It's a big job, this one. It's not a big flat, but this is a big job.
And then there's the bedroom, and finally the kitchen.
It's a little bit cruel on the animals, looking at that respect as well. We've got a pretty grimy fridge. I mean, there's things living in this fridge.
This flat tells a depressing story, but Nick is determined to give it a happy ending.
It's quite rewarding when you've actually done something good. Something good's come out of this, you know, in the end. And then hopefully someone, a family or an individual can come back here and live a normal life in a normal environment. That's the idea.
But cleaning up all this is going to be pricey.
It's not going to be a cheap job, and it's not going to be a quick job, but it's got to be done properly. Because eventually someone can live back in here, but it's going to be a bit of time before they can even consider coming back in here.
Nick will now work out the cost of the job and hope the owner will agree the contract. Pressed.
Now we're getting to see the full view of it, and it is really outstanding mucky.
The flat was home to a multitude of cats, so Steve must take precautions before the boys can start the clear-up.
Just spraying in case any fleas in here. Cats, dogs cause fleas and that, so you can never be too careful.
Bertram's found some unwelcome visitors in the bedroom.
Bed bug, they go inside your clothes, go home with you, inside your bed, so the first thing you have to do is kill them.
It may seem a tough way to earn a living, but not for Bertram.
I look forward to all this type of job. That's a job really I specialize in most of all, because I enjoy doing it, going inside, see something like this, get to read all the bugs, and look forward to do many more.
While Brian starts to clear the hoard of vodka bottles, Steve tries to work up an appetite.
Steve getting that sandwich for his lunch in the fridge for about 2 years.
It's my favourite sandwich, chicken and stuffing. Can't beat this, with a bit of meal.
Bertram soon finishes spraying.
So now I think the place is sanitized and good for us to go on do our job.
Now the boys can get stuck in. Steve's wasting no time in the kitchen.
The dirtier the job, the better. The smellier, the better, trust me. There's not many people really want to do the dirty jobs, but some of us just don't mind it. Like the stench coming off some of these, you know, rotten food, meat, it's good for you.
Despite the disappointing sandwich, Steve is still on the lookout.
Not too bad, not too bad. Oh, you got the chicken. Now that smells, that is a bit bad one. Chicken breast with creamy wild mushroom. There's a little party goer.
Spraying is the easy bit. Bertram's now got to get to grips with the problem.
It's a bit shocking when you first get to it. And when you see it, you don't know where to start. Should I start here or there? But finally you have to just get down and start somewhere.
Steve is never one to balk at a challenge, but it can still be distressing.
Like the fact people can actually live like this and there's nobody out there to help them, yeah, it does shock us. But there's always people like us around to clean up after them.
The kitchen is much improved, but it's been a long day. The boys can now head off, but they'll be back tomorrow to deal with the delights of the bathroom. In Enfield, North London, extreme cleaner Steve and his team have returned to tackle the one-bed flat. That's if only they can get in.
Well, it's not opening.
They press on regardless.
We've got to deep clean the whole house. The only room we've got left to do is the bathroom, which is full of cat's feces, and I'm not really looking forward to that. Oh,
Eventually, Steve makes it.
Cheers, mate. Thank you very much.
But that's just the start of his problems.
As you can see in the bath, full of cat's feces, damp clothes. Obviously, to keep the cat comfortable while it's having its feces in the bath. It's a dirty job. Somebody's got to do it.
Even for a veteran like Steve, there's something unusual about this case.
First time I've actually seen that much cat's feces in a bath. I've seen a little dollop now and again, but never that much. There's no reason whatsoever on earth why people live like this for. She definitely wasn't using this bath, I can tell you that now.
Steve's not put off by a little local difficulty.
Like once we finish cleaning this out, somebody will be able to walk in, run the water and just have a bath straight away without doing anything. And to me, that's good.
The bulk of the loose stuff has now been collected, so Steve can plan the deep clean.
Just use a scraper or green pad, scour, spray it, scrub it. It'll come off, no problems there.
What's needed for a job like this is a very careful, disciplined approach.
I could be here all day trying to scrub it off. So the best thing is one of these, which is really a window scraper. So it shouldn't mark the bath at all.
While Steve is kept busy, the others can continue with the rest of the flat. Within half an hour, the bathroom has been transformed.
Look at the difference in this. Yeah, it makes you proud, doesn't it? But it's a pity about the floor. I don't know what they're going to do with that. They'll have to get it buffered up or something somehow, but we've tried our best. You could walk in here now and I could use the toilet. You know what I mean? Well, I wouldn't early on, but I could jump in the bath and have a bath. So if I had my towel, I would anyway. But nah, there's a big difference, mate. Proud I've done it.
The bathroom is stunning. Now it's up to Steve to make the rest of the flat sparkle. Steve and the boys are putting the finishing touches to the deep clean. The manager has some thoughts at half-time.
Good team effort today, definitely good team effort.
While Steve has dealt with the bathroom, James has been sorting out the kitchen.
How's it going, James?
It's going good, mate.
Wicked. That's what I like to hear, mate. That's what I like to hear.
Getting up to the standard it should be, you know. Can't get it 100%, but I'll get it maybe 95. 95 is next to 100, so it's okay.
And it's going to be hard to get the floor 100%.
This is off the cat's faces and all that, stuck to the wood and every other bits and bobs that was in here, so we've got to scrape it up.
After a few hours of hard graft, they've got a result.
If you look at the state of this place, how clean it is compared to when we first came in, and I tell you what, I'd move in here tomorrow myself. That's how good I think this place is. It's all clean, immaculate, floors done, walls, windows, everything's done. So, in my eyes, this is a job done.
Since the filming of the show, Steve's work on the flat was good enough to attract a new tenant.